Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with our homework of the week. So as always, you do have a multiplication chart to fill out. The only difference about this week and the rest of the weeks that we give it to you, it'll be blank because when you take your test, they will give you a blank grid paper to use. You have to make it completely from scratch. And doing this, we start with the multiplication symbol at the top corner. And then we list our factors 1 through 12 both horizontally and vertically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then going down vertically, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And remember, when you fill out your chart, we do the numbers 1 through 12 twice, so you're gonna have two sets of the numbers 1 through 12. Shout out to Zachary for remembering that second row of these multiples going 1 through 12 horizontally and vertically. Awesome job. So right here in between these two ones at the top, you're gonna have one more one, so that little 3 1 set is right here. You're gonna do the numbers 1 through 12 horizontally and then vertically. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then vertically 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now that you have those set up, you can begin filling out your multiplication chart. We're going to start with two sets of multiples that we kind of pretty much know already, and then get down to the more challenging ones before we start filling it in. Shout out to Justin and Jeremiah for being able to do their multiplication chart fully on their own. Awesome job, boys. So let's begin. We're going to start with our multiples of 5 going vertically. Remember that when we fill in our multiples, we go vertically first, then go back to that same number and then do the multiples horizontally. So you're not doing double the work as you fill in your chart. So starting with the 5s, we're going to go vertically. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Oh my gosh, my 5 went down. Sorry, guys. 55, 60. I'm going to find my 5s again and do it horizontally. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 is there. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Now that I have those multiples set up, let's go ahead and do our next set of multiples, the 10s. So vertically it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is there, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Gonna find my 10s again to do it horizontally. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is there, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 is there, 110, 120. Now that I have those two sets of multiples, I'm going to start with the harder ones. We're going to start with the 12s. Now the 12s, we're going to fill in the ones place number first before we go back up and fill in the front numbers, just in case you have a hard time filling in your 12s because those are kind of challenging to remember. We're going to start with the ones. The ones over here is a 2. We're going to go put a 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4. Go back up. We're going to fill in those front numbers. We start with the 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, skip 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to go find my factor of the 12s on the horizontal section, which is the way bottom, and fill those in since I already have them listed for me vertically. So 12, I put 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, 144 is already there for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my 11s. The 11s are kind of easy to remember because you just double up your number until the end where it gets kind of confusing. But you can always follow another pattern as well, starting with that ones place. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2. And then go back to the front. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Skip 10, 11, 12, 13. There's my multiples of 11. I'm going to go horizontally to fill those in. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. The rest of my multiples are full, so I don't even have to like write them. We're going to do our 9s next. The 9s are the other challenging number of multiple sets to remember, but they also have a pattern. We're starting in the ones place again. It's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 9, 8. They're already in there for you, so you don't even have to worry about them. I'm going to go back up here. That 9 is going to be left alone. We're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and everything else is filled. It's 8, 9, 9, 10. Right? But we already have it filled. We don't have to worry about remembering that part at the end. I'm going to go horizontally to find my 9 so I can write the multiples that I just put over here vertically. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72. Now I can go ahead and start filling in the rest of my multiples. I just have 6 left to go. I can start however I want with these. We can start from the beginning if we'd like. Let's go ahead and do that. With the 2s going vertically, first it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Everything's full. I'm going to go horizontally now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Stop right there. Let's do the 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Horizontally, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36 is there. My 4s, I have 4, 8, 12, and 16, 20, 24, 28, and 32. 36, 40 with a 44 here and a 48 there. I'm going to go horizontally. So I have this section filled out, 4, 8, 12, and 16, 20, 24, 28, and 32, 36, 40 with a 44 here and a 48 there. E-I-E-I-O. All done. Now I just have this little square left to go. So we have our 6s, 6, 12, and 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and 54, 60, 66, and 72. We're going to go and do the rest horizontally. I think that's so true. Let's go. 6, 12, and 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and the rest of my numbers are full. Now we just got these 4 boxes to work with. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, and 63. My 49 is here. After 49 was 56, I can fill that in, and I'm left with just that one square, which would be my 8 times 8, and that would be a 64 to fill in, and you are done with your multiples. This will be helpful for the rest of the homework packet if you need to remember your multiplication facts. No worries, you can use that right there. So let's go ahead and get started with the first page of partial products. Shout out to Max, Harley, and John for showing all their work using the partial product method. It is a very long method to use, but we're glad that you guys can do it like it's no problem. So let's go ahead and solve these problems here. When we are doing partial products, they show you the numbers vertically. First thing you should do is write it horizontally. So 69 times 7. And then you're going to list up to what place value you have to solve. And in this case, I have a 2-digit number. That means I go all the way to my tens. So I'm going to put ones, tens. And I'm going to draw a line here to separate the words, because sometimes that O in ones can be mistaken for a 0 if we're not too careful. Once I have that set up, I put my plus sign because we're going to add our partial products once we get them. And you can do one of two things. You can multiply right away first, or you can drop your zeros down right away. In this case, I'm going to be dropping down the zeros right away, but I will be showing you what each set means in case you get confused on what partial products really is. So for tens, in the number 10 we have 1 0, so I'm going to put a 0 here first, and then I'm going to multiply like regular. So 9 ones times 7. So I'm going to say this problem right here is 7 times 9 ones, and we get 7 times 9 is 63, so I'm going to put my 3 in the ones place, and the 60, 6 tens goes over here. So it's 63 ones. 7 times 9 is 63. And then my tens is actually 7 times 6 tens. 6 tens in standard form is 60. This is what I'm actually solving here. So my 0 is already there. I'm just going to pay attention to the 7 times 6. And 7 times 6 is 42. So I'm going to fill in that 42 right here. It actually ends up being 420 because of that 0, since it's a tens number. It's 42, and then 10 times 10 is 420. Once I have these two partial products, I'm going to add them up. 3 plus 0 is 3, 6 plus 2 is 8, and 4 plus nothing is 4. This is my answer. And I'm going to leave it like that. That's fine. Let's go down in order. So we're going to do number 2 first. Let me go ahead and put my page a little bit higher where we can see all the numbers here, because I feel like, or maybe I need to make my camera go up a little bit. There we go, that's better. So, there we go, better. Now 55 times 3, again, 55 times 3, make it vertically. I have 2 digits, so that's ones and tens. Put my little shield there, my addition symbol for the rest of my problems that I'm doing. 5 ones times 3, or here I'm going to write 3 times 5 ones. And then it's going to be 3 times 5 tens, which is 3 times 50. I'm going to put that 0 over here right away because I already know the rule of my zeros. It goes on the back of my numbers here. Now 5 times 3, or 3 times 5, that's 15 ones. And then my zeros here, I'm still doing 3 times 5 again, so that's also 15. My 0 at the end, it's actually 150. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6, and 1 with nothing is 1. 165 is my final product here for this number. Okay, you can always pause the video in case you want to check how these go, or do it on yourself before I do it. Go ahead, you guys can do it. 87 times 6, so 87 times 6, there's my problem vertically. I'm going to put ones and then tens, put my shield, put my addition symbol for the work. Now it's 6 times 7 ones, and then 6 times 8 tens, which is actually 80. Put that 0 over here right away so I can just worry about the simple problem of 6 times 8 and 6 times 7. Well, 6 times 7 is 42. I'm going to put 42, line up my ones. And then 6 times 8 is 48. So I'm going to put 48 over here. My numbers are lined up. That 0, the 48 becomes actually 480 because it's times 10 since it's the tens place. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 8 is actually 12. There's my 12. The 1 is kind of hard to see because it's too shiny. So there's my 12. And then 4 plus 1 is 5. 522 is my final product for this one. Oh boy. So here we go. We just got done with the 2-digit numbers. We're going to go ahead and take a look at 3-digit numbers. And when we do 3-digit numbers, it follows the same layout as the 2-digit ones. You're going to write all the way up to what place value you go to. So for example, here it's 413 times 5. And I'm going to set up my problem here. Let me scoot this page up just a little bit. I'm going to start with the ones, then tens, then hundreds. Okay? Some of you guys probably won't want to write it out. You can put O, T, and H, just like your place value chart. That's fine too. I'm going to be writing out the words though. And I'm going to put the addition symbol down here so I can start with my products. This problem for the ones is 5 times 3. For my tens, it's 5 times 110, which is 10. Put that 0 over here already. And then my hundreds, it's 5 times 400s, which is 400. I have 2 zeros that I got to pull over here. So I have them ready to go. Now I'm just looking at these smaller problems. I have 5 times 3, 5 times 1, and 5 times 4 to write down. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm writing it backwards because I'm starting with the ones place to make sure I line them up. 5 times 1 is 5. And then 5 times 4 is 20. So there's my 20. It's actually 2,000 because it's a hundreds. 5 plus nothing is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 0 plus nothing is 0. And 2 plus nothing is 2. My comma goes where it needs to be. My final product is 2,065. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me leave that up there real quick. Okay, leaving that here real quick, just giving you guys a chance to catch up in case I was going too fast. Okay, I think we should be good to go. So let's continue. At the top of your page, you have another 3-digit number. We have 902 times 8. Write your ones, tens, hundreds. Set up your shield right there for the words to numbers, and then my addition symbol over here in the corner. I have 8 times 2 ones. I have 8 times 0 tens. This would have 1 0 right here since it's a tens place. Looks kind of funny, I know. Then you have 8 times 900s, which would be 900s, and I have 2 zeros to put down for that number there. That way I can just worry about the smaller problems that we have to deal with, which are 8 times 2, 8 times 0, and 8 times 9. So let's go ahead and solve those. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 9. 8 times 9 is 72. So I'm going to put the 72 over here. And then I'm going to add my partial products. 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus nothing is 1. 2 plus nothing is 2. And 7 plus nothing is 7. My commas go where they need to be. It's 7,216. That's your final product for this multiplication problem. Okay. Let me scoot the paper up here. The next problem, set it up vertically. It's 786 times 4. So, first thing I gotta do is write my place values: ones, tens, hundreds. Put my shield on the side so I don't confuse the words with the numbers. Now I'm gonna fill in what I have to do, which is 4 times 6 ones, 4 times 8 tens, which is 80. Put that 1 0 over there for the tens place. And then 4 times 7 hundreds, which is 700. There's the 2 zeros for that place value that I'm going to bring over here already, just so that I don't have to worry about them. And then I'm going to deal with my smaller problem since I moved my zeros over. I'm dealing with 4 times 6, 4 times 8, and 4 times 7. So let's start with the ones. 4 times 6 ones is going to get me 24. So 4 ones and 2 tens, which is 24. 8 times 4, 8 times 4 or 4 times 8, either way we're going to get the same answer here. 4 times 8 is 32, and it's 8 tens, so that is actually going to be 320 because the 0 is there for my tens place. And then our final one is 4 times 700s, or 4 times 7 since we transferred the zeros over. 4 times 7 is 28. I have 28 right here. It actually becomes 2,800. I'm going to add my partial products. 4 plus zeros are 4. 2 plus 2 plus 0 is 4 also. 3 plus 8, or 8 plus 3, is 11. carry that 1 over there for that 11. 2 plus 1 is 3. My comma where it goes. Your final product is 3,144. Okay. Here's the next one, 625 times 9. 625 times 9. Ones, tens, hundreds. Shield it. Put my addition symbol over here to the side. Write down what you're working with. I have 9 times 5 ones. 9 times 2 tens, which is 20. Carry that 0 over here. 9 times 6 hundreds, which is 600. I have 2 zeros to move over. And then I can start with my smaller problems of 9 times 6, 9 times 2, and 9 times 5. So 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 2 is 18 tens, which is actually 180 when I write it in standard. And then 9 times 6 is 54, which is 54 hundreds, or once it's standard, it's 5,400 there. And then I can add up my partial products. 5 plus zeros is 5. 4 plus 8 is 12. There's my 1 and then the 2. So 4 and 1 is 6. And then 5 with nothing is 5. 5,625. Okay. If you look closely at number 8, we got an even bigger digit number here. It's a 4-digit number, which means that we're going all the way to the thousands place value. Same process, promise. Same thing with the zeros, just be careful. Let's go ahead and lay this one out. So we have 5,294 times 6. You're going to follow the same thing here. Ones, tens, hundreds, and then we're actually with a 5,000 there, so it's 1,000. Gonna shield those words, put my addition symbol a little bit more to the side because this one might be a big number. And then I'm gonna write down my problems to see what simple problems we're working with here. I have 6 times 4 ones. I have 6 times 9 tens, which is 90. There's 1 0 to move over. 6 times 2 hundreds, which is 200. I'm going to put 2 zeros over. And then 6 times 5 thousands, which is 5,000. This is 3 zeros this time. So 1, 2, 3 zeros. Now I'm going to look at my smaller problems. 6 times 5, 6 times 2, 6 times 9, and 6 times 4. Starting up here with the 6 times 4. That's 24. I lined up my 2 with the tens placed right here. My next one is 6 times 9 tens, or 6 times 90. 6 times 9 tens would be 54 tens, which is actually 540. My hundreds is 6 times 2 hundreds, which is 12 hundreds, or in standard it's 1,200. And then 6 times 5 thousands is actually 30 thousands, which is 30,000. My number was too close over here. Now I can add my 4 partial products. 4 plus zeros is 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7, comma. 1 plus 0 is 1, and 3 plus nothing is 3. 1,000. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. 31,764 is my final product. Okay. As long as you guys practice, this will be one of the strategies you can be using. If it's a little bit challenging, no worries. We have plenty of multiplication strategies that you guys can be doing along with standard algorithm, which most of you are pretty good at. And speaking of other strategies for multiplication, here's another one that you guys could be practicing: the area model. Now, the area model is a little bit like the partial products, except it's more of a picture, right? And we have our boxes here. So when you look at your factors, you got to look at how many boxes you're going to need for your columns and your rows. So in this example, the first one, they kind of did it for us. There's the number 513, so I needed 3 boxes, and I just needed to have 1 row for my 7 because it's a 1 digit. Later we're going to be getting into double digits and we'll see how that works out, but you got to get the hang of this one first. So you break up your number by its place value here at the top of your boxes for this area model. I have 500s, I have 110, and I have 3 ones. And then your 7 goes to the side. Your other factor, the one that you're going to multiply by, goes to the side here. Now for this one, the zeros is the same as the partial products. I have 2 zeros that I need to bring down. I have 1 0 that I need to bring down for my tens, and then I can just pay attention to my smaller problem. I have 7 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. It ends up being 3,500 because it's 35 hundredths, and you have to change place values as needed. 7 times 1 is 7. It's 7 tens, it's actually 70. 7 times 3 is 21. Once you get these, you got to line them up over here to the side. 3,500 plus 70 plus 21. And get your full answer here. This is 1. 7 plus 2 is 9. 5 plus nothing is 5. And 3 plus nothing is 3. So 3,591. My comma where it goes. That is the area model. In this example, it's a little bit tricky because we have a 0 in the tens place. So they drew out just they drew out just the 2 boxes without worrying about the tens place in there, which is fine. You have 308 tens. In my case, for anything else, I would draw the number boxes, but it's going to be up to your preference. I believe this is the only one that has a 0 in it, so we should be good. This is just so you can see what that might look like. So my 8 goes to the side. So I have 2 zeros to bring down. 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. My papers are falling. 8 times 3 is 24, which is actually 2,400 because we're timesing it by 100. And then 8 times 8 is 64. Those are my 2 partial products. I'm going to put them to the side and start solving. We're adding partial products together. Whatever you get as the area in your boxes for the area model is your partial products that you're adding up. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 0 is 6. 4 with nothing is 4. And 2 with nothing is 2. My answer is 2,464 as my final product. Okay. The next one, they gave the boxes for you, remember. Break up your number by place value. Your factor needs to be broken up by place value. Your second factor goes to the side. We're multiplying by 4. I have 4 hundreds. I have 5 tens, which is 50. And 2 ones. Drop down the zeros in the boxes that they need to be in. 4 times 4 is 1600s, which is actually 1,600 in standard form. 5 tens times 4 is 20 tens, but it's actually 200 in standard form. And 4 times 2 is 8. Write your products on the side. 1600s or 1,600. 200 and then the 8, and if I put those together, 8 plus 0 is 8, zeros together are 0, 6 plus 2 is 8, and 1 with nothing is 1. 1,808 is my final product. Now the next one, all of these do not have the area model, so you have to draw them out. And in this case I have 3 digits to work with, so I'm going to have a 1 digit by 3 digits. So there's the 1 rectangle strip right here. Probably shouldn't have drawn it that much because I still have to line up my numbers, but just so that you can see here, there's 3 boxes. I broke it up into 3 parts. 3 goes to the side. I have 900s, I have 110, and I have 4 ones. Drop down the zeros where they need to be. 9 times 3, or 3 times 9, is 27. It's actually 2,700. 3 times 1 is 3. So 3 tens is actually 30, and 3 times 4 is 12. So if I add these up, I'm just going to line them up down here underneath this one. Zeros plus 2 is 2, 3 plus 1 is 4, 7 plus nothing is 7, and 2 with nothing is 2. My final product is 2,742. Easy. On the bottom there is a riddle for this one, but we'll fill that out at the end. Let's keep going with this area model. Let me scoot this a little bit more to the side here. That way I can write a little bit better here. There's my 3 parts because I have 3 digits. My 9 goes to the side. My other factor, I am going to break it up. I have 5 hundreds. I have 7 tens, which is 70. I have 6 ones. Drop zeros where I need them to be, and then start with multiplication. Over here, 9 times 5 is 45, which is actually 4,500 for this box. 9 times 7 is 63, which is actually 630 for the box. And 9 times 6 is 54. Oh, those are big numbers to work with now. 4,500, 630, and 54. Add those together. I have 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 plus 5 is 8. 5 plus 6 is 11. And 4 plus 1 is 5. 5,184 is my final product. Okay, you guys can always pause the videos if you're going to be checking your work first and give it a shot. I encourage you to do that. Go ahead and pause the video before I solve any of these problems, and then just go back and check your work as I go through these, because I am going a little bit fast here. So here's my box for the area model. I have 3 parts in there because I have 3 digits to work with. Break it up, that's 400, 7 tens is 70, and 2 ones. 7 goes to the side here. Drop down your zeros in the boxes they belong to, and then solve the smaller problems. 7 times 4 is 28, which is 2,800 for this box. 7 times 7 is 49, which is 490 in this box here for the tens place. And 7 times 2 is 14. Get your partial products, line them up, and add them together once you have all of them. Zeros with 4 is 4. 9 with 1 is 10. 8 plus 4 plus 1 is 13. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Comma where it goes. 3,304. Okay. 615 times 6. I need 3 boxes here. 1, 2, and 3. 6 times 600, 6 times 110 is 10, and 6 times 5 ones. Drop the zeros where they go, first of all, and then do the smaller problems. 6 times 6 is 36, 3,600. 6 times 10 is 60, or in this case we put the 0 there, so 6 times 1 is 6. It ends up being 60 in this box. And 6 times 5 is 30. And then line up the partial products here. I have 3,600 plus 60 plus 30. Zeros altogether is 0. 6 plus 3 is 9. 6 with nothing is 6. And 3 with nothing is 3. 3,690 is my final product. I have 3 digits. That means I need 3 boxes with 1 on the rows, because it's a 1-digit factor over here, which is a 5. 5 times, whoops, let me do my boxes. 8 hundreds, 5 tens, which is 50, and 3 ones. Drop my zeros where they go. Now I'm just doing the smaller piece of 5 times 8, which is 40, or 4,000 in this case for the box, now that I filled it out. 5 times 5 is 25, which is 250, and 5 times 3 is 15. Now when I add these up, let's see what the number is going to be. I have 4,000 plus 250 plus 15. Zeros and a 5 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 2 plus nothing is 2, and 4 plus nothing is 4. 4,265. is my final product. Only 3 more to go here. This homework does take a little bit longer because we are doing more longer problems to solve this way, just because you guys need to practice these strategies. Now 956 times 2 is 3 digits by 1 digit here, so I have 2 on my side. Break up my number, I have 9 hundreds, 5 tens is 50, and 6 ones is just 6. Drop the zeros where they go. Solve the smaller problems. 2 times 9 is 18. We have 1,800 in our first area box. 2 times 5 is 10. We have 100 in our second box. And 2 times 6 is 12. Line up your partial products to the side of your box, so your area model, and see what you get. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 1 is 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. And 1 with nothing is 1. 1,912 is the final product. Let me scoot the paper up here, running out of space on my desk. Now 623 times 3, let's make our boxes. It's a 3 digit by 1 digit, so I need 3 boxes and 1 row. So there's 3 times 600 times 2 tens is 20, 3 ones is just 3, 600, 20, and 3. Zeros where they go. There's no zeros at the end. Start with the regular little smaller problems. 3 times 6 is 18. That's 1,800 in the first one. 3 times 2 is 6. It's actually 60. 3 times 3 is 9. And if I add up these partial products, I have 1,800 plus 60 plus 9. 9 with nothing is 9. 6 with nothing is 6. 8 with nothing is 8. And the 1,000 by itself is 1,000. So 1,869 is the partial product. Is the final product of your partial products. We're right at the end of this one. Hang in there. You guys are almost done with your homework. 429 times 8. I need 1 row, and I need 3 columns or 3 boxes for my 3-digit number here. Break up that number. 429 is 400, 20, and 9. Expanded form here. My 2 looks you can't really see the bottom of the 2. And then 8 to the side. Drop down your zeros to just have smaller multiplication problems. We have 8 times 4, which is 32, which is actually 3,200 in this first area box because it's a hundreds number. 8 times 2 is 16. It's a tens place number, so it's actually 160. And then 8 times 9 is 72. Get the partial products and add them together. I have 3,200 plus 160 plus 72. So zeros with a 2 is 2. 0 plus 6 plus 7 is 13. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. And 3 with nothing is 3. 3,432 is your final product. Now for the riddle on the bottom, in the corner of each box is a letter. You're going to get your final product of each box and find it on the bottom and fill it in with the letter that's in that corner of your area model problem. So 3,591 is a T. So if I look at the bottom, 3,591 is actually right here. That's a T. I think they're all just one time, so we'll keep moving along. My next box was an I for 2,464, which is the first box, or the first line over here. So I should have an I right here. The next answer, we have a letter S for 1,808. 1,808. Oh, look, it's down here. That's an S. For the letter P, we should have 2,742. So the letter P, 2,742. This is the letter P. For the letter V, it's 5,184. Oh, that's right here. V. For 3,304, it's an E. For the letter O, 3,690. Oh, it's right here. And for the letter R, 4,265 is an R. 1,912 is an E. 1,912 is an E. For 1,869, that's over here at the end, it's a T. And then the last one, 3,432, is a W. So the joke is, why was the broom late to class? It overswept. Get it? Overswept. That's hilarious. Now, this final homework page is the one that's been giving you guys nightmares. We'll get the hang of it, no worries. Shout out to Nova and Mandy who have gotten the hang of the process. Everybody, so far we're very proud of your progress. You guys are understanding the process of dropping down the numbers, multiplying, and then dropping down, subtracting. We're just getting the numbers a little bit mixed up, so practice makes almost perfect. We're not looking for perfection though. Practice makes progress. As long as you're trying, we'll get there. So let's go ahead and check these out. These are 3-digit by 1-digit divisions. We've been doing 2-digit by 1-digit divisions so far, but we'll be getting into up to 4 digits to be dividing. So let's just get started on that. Now remember that your divisor is the number that you're counting by. You're going to be doing 1 digit at a time in your dividend. And it's very helpful when you list the multiples of your divisor so that you know whether or not you're going to get the numbers that come out here as you subtract. So we're going to start with 4, 8, 12, and 16, 20, 24, 28. You don't have to list all the multiples. Just maybe the first 5, maybe the first 6, if anything. And you can just continue on if you have to once you start subtracting your numbers here. But let's start with that first digit in the hundreds place. I have a 5 to start with. The closest I can get to 5, remember that you cannot go past the number that you need. For example, I'm looking at my multiples. I don't have a 5, I have 4, and then I go to 8. I can't use 8 because I'm only looking for a 5. So I can use 4, and it goes down here. I have 4, and I use 1 times 4 to get that number right there. That's why I have a 4. I counted by 4 1 times to get 4. I'm going to subtract that and see what I get here. This worksheet actually is kind of weird, guys. Okay, hold on. Scratch that. Let me see here. I think they printed an extra box. That's what it looks like here. So let's go ahead and write the 4 down here. 5 take away 4. We're going to start like that. So I'm using the 500s. 5 take away 4 is 1. You drop down your next number, which is a 5. For your next digit, remember that when you're dropping down these numbers, you're regrouping, right? We're going to be learning with the area, you're going to be learning long division, guys. There's many other strategies, which also reminds me, shout out to Robert for being able to do the place value for multiplication and then also for division, getting the hang of it. But let's practice for sure getting the hang of the long division, because there's a point where the place value is just too much unbundling that you'll have to do. So we need to get the hang of using our numbers, and we'll get there, no worries. So back to this, you drop down, you regrouped, now you have 15. So if I'm looking at my multiples of 4 here, the closest I can get is going to be 12 because I can't use 16. I only have 15. So I'm going to use the 12, right? I used 4 times 3. 3 goes on top of that tens place right there to get 12. I'm going to subtract here. 5 take away 2 is 3. 1 take away 1 is nothing. So I'm going to either leave that blank, or if you want to, just for your sake, you can do the 0 there. Either way, as long as you have that 3 there. Drop down your next number, which is a 6. Now I'm dealing with 36. I don't have the 30s here, so I'm going to keep writing my multiples. So it was 4, 8, 12, and 16, 20, 24, 28, and 32, 36. Oh, hey, I can actually get 36 by using 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Once I have my two numbers, I'm going to subtract 36, take away 36. Well, that's 0. I don't have numbers to bring down. I don't have anything left over. That means I'm done. My quotient, my answer, is 139. This is the long division process, okay? So it's very helpful to list your multiples, especially if you don't have the multiplication chart with you. Let's go ahead and try the next couple of problems here and get the hang of it. So all you're doing is counting by your divisor. Remember, count by your divisor to get close to the dividends number that you're looking for. You can't go past it. Don't go past it. Whatever number you counted by, you're counting by 2's, and how many times you count by it goes up top. What you get from counting goes on the bottom. You subtract it. So for example here, let me fill it out the way this paper has it. We're going to start with the number 4. Counting by 2's. Oh, let me list my multiples. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I'm going to stop at 20. Counting by 2's to get to 4. I can actually get 4 by counting by 2's 2 times. 2 times 2 is that 4 right there. I subtract it, that's 0. Drop down my next number, which is 6. Counting by 2's to get to 6. 2, 4, 6. I can get a 6 by doing 2 times 3 to get there. If I subtract that, I get 0. In this box right here, you can put a 0 too if you want. It doesn't really matter because there's nothing there. It's a 0 over here. Drop down my next number. Now I'm dealing with a 3. So counting by 2's to get to a 3, I go 2 and 4. I'm looking for 3, so I can't use 4, but I can use 2, which is 1 times 2 to get that 2. If I subtract it, I'm left with 1, right? Now, I don't have numbers to bring down, which means that I'm not unbundling anymore. I'm not borrowing or unbundling. I have this left over. That is called a remainder. And so you're going to put the remainder up here. Remainder 1. Remember that the R for remainder goes before what's left over. Otherwise, you might confuse yourself and add it to the wrong number. You're going to add it to your quotient. It's going to not look correctly. Now, before we continue with this, since I have one that does not have a remainder and one that does, if you're ever confused or you're not too sure about what your quotient is, if it's correct or not, you can always check by doing the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So 139 times my divisor, which is 4, right? You get your quotient and times it by your divisor. That should get you your dividend. 9 times 4 is 36. So I'm going to put 36 right here. I'm going to do standard algorithm just for the sake of time here. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. And then 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. My answer is 556. That's my product. The dividend is 556. That means that my answer is correct. When you have a remainder, it's almost the same process. You just have one more extra step here. I'm going to get my quotient and times it by my divisor. The remainder is something that I'm going to add to the end. So I'm going to get 231 times 2 and get my product first. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 2 is 4. Plus my remainder of 1. So plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 6 with nothing is 6, and 4 with nothing is 4. 463. 463, that means that is correct. Alright, here we go. I'm doing 2's here again. So I'm going to use the ones that I already put over here. So I have 2 that I'm starting with. Counting by 2's to get a 2. I can get 2 right away with 1 times 2. Subtract that, that's 0. Drop down my first number, which is 3. Counting by 2's to get a 3. The closest I can get is another 2 by using 1 times 2 again. And if I subtract that, 3 take away 2, well, that's 1. Drop down my next number, which is 3. So now I have 13. If I look at my multiples here, the closest is 12. I can't use 14, but I can use 12. So I'm going to use 12 by saying 6 times 2. That's how I got 12. 6 times 2 gave me the 12. And if I subtract that, 3 take away 2 is 1. 1 take away 1 is 0. I don't have any other numbers to bring down, so that 1 is my remainder. So R1, remainder 1. And I'm going to say 116 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And 2 times 1 is 2. Remainder 1 means I'm adding 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 with nothing is 3, and 2 with nothing is 2. So 233 and 233, that's the number I need. I'm good to keep moving. Counting by 4's this time. Oh, hey, I already counted by 4's over here, so I'll use that list again here. I'm going to start with the 500 here. So counting by 4's again to get to 5. The closest I can get is just 4 by using 1 times 4. That's 4. Subtract it. 5 take away 4 is 1. Drop down your number. Now I'm regrouping and I have 14. I can't use 16, but I can use 12, which is 4 times 3. That gets me 12. 4 take away 2 is 2. 1 take away 1 is nothing. Drop down my next number to regroup. Now I'm looking for a 25. I have 24 and 28. I can't use 28, so I'm going to use 24. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 take away 4 is 1. 2 take away 2 is 0. No numbers to bring down. That means this is my remainder. So remainder of 1. 136 times my divisor of 4 to check my answer. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 is 14. And 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. My remainder of 1, I have to add it. 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 with nothing is 4, and 5 with nothing is 5. 545. 545. That is correct. I'm doing 2's again. Divisor of 2 means counting by 2's. I have my multiples here to help me out already. I'm looking for a 3 first. So 2 times something gets me close to 3. Or counting by 2's the closest I can get here. I can't use 4, but I can use 2, which is 2 times 1. That's 2 times 1 to get the 2. 3 take away 2 is 1. Drop down low. Here I have a 19 now. I have 18, then 20. I can use 18, which is 2 times 9. That's how I got 18. 9 take away 8. If I subtract that, that's just 1. 1 take away 1 is 0. Drop down to regroup. Now I'm looking for a 14. Oh, I can get actually 14 by doing 2 times 7. And 14 take away 14 is 0. So I have no more numbers to bring down, plus I have no numbers left over. It's just 197. And if I need to check, 197 times my divisor of 2. 7 times 2 is 14. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 1 is 19. There's my 1, 19. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And 394 of a dividend, and my product over here of 394 means that I'm correct. Moving on to the 6's. All right, so now we're doing the 6 multiples of 6. I'm gonna write them out here: 6, 12, and 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. I'm gonna stop at 48. I think we should be okay. We're looking at the 900s first, so I'm gonna write that in there because the box has one spot for that. Now, counting by sixes to get to 9. I go from 6 to 12, so I have to use 6, which is 6 times 1. Subtract it, I get 3. Drop down to regroup for my next number, which is 35. I go down my multiples. The closest I can get is 30 because 36 is too much, so I can use 30, which is 6 times 5. And then I'm going to subtract them. 5 take away 0 is 5. 3 take away 3 is 0. Drop down my next number to regroup for my new one, which is 54. Well, I stopped at 48. So the next number after that, 36, 42, 48, 54 is my next one. Now, that's actually exactly what I needed. I'm going to subtract that. I got 6 times 9 to get 54. And if I subtract these, I'm left with 0. No numbers to bring down, nothing left over. 159 is my final quotient. 159 times my divisor of 6. To check my answers here, 9 times 6 is 54. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 5 is 35. And 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 954, 954. We're good. Now, let me see if I can zoom out my camera just a little bit here. There you go. That way I can borrow those multiples that I rewrote up here. I'm doing 4s again. So counting by 4s to get to 4, well, I can get a 4 by using 4 times 1. Subtract that, that's 0. Drop down my 3. Here's the question. We were learning about this a while ago. Counting by 4s to get to 3. Can I get a 4? I'm sorry, can I get a 3 counting by 4s? No, I cannot. So the number that means no or nothing is 0. 0 times 4 gets me a 0. Okay? And I'm going to subtract that. 3 take away nothing is still going to be a 3. Drop down to regroup. Now I'm dealing with 35. The closest I can get to 35 is 32 by using 4 times 8. That's 32. Subtract it. 5 take away 2 is 3, and 3 take away 3 is 0. I have no more numbers to bring down, and I have 3 left over. Those are remainders. Remainder of 3. To check my work, it's 108 times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 is 3. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus my remainder of 3. Well, 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 with nothing is 3, and 4 with nothing is 4. That's the number that I needed, so that's good to go. Counting by 3s. Well, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. I'm going to stop at 30. Counting by 3s to get to the 500 first is going to be a little bit... Let me scoot the thing up here because we can't really see. Counting by 3s to get to 5. The closest is using a 3, which is 3 times 1. Subtract that. I'm left with 2. Drop down my next number for regrouping, which is 28 now. If I look at my multiples, I have 27 and 30, so I got to use 27, which is actually 3 times 9. That gives me 27. 8 take away 7 is 1. Drop down my next number to regroup, which now I have 19. The closest multiple I have is not 21 because that's past it. It's 18, which is 3 times 6. That gets me the 18. Subtract that. 9 take away 8 is 1. 1 take away 1 is 0. No more numbers to bring down, so that's 1 left over, or 1 remaining. So R1. Checking my work, 196 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 is 28. And 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. My remainder of 1 I have to add. 8 plus 1 is 9. 8 with nothing is 8, and 5 with nothing is 5. 589. 589 means that we're good. Now, counting by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I'm stopping at 20. Counting by twos to get to the first digit, which is the 900s, the closest I can get is an 8. I get that 8 by doing 2 times 4. That's going to leave me with 1. Drop down to regroup for my new number, which is 16. If I look at my multiples, I can get actually 16 by doing 2 times 8 up top. Subtract that, I'm left with 0. Drop down for regrouping. Now I have 8 to work with. I can actually get 8 by doing 2 times 4. Subtract it, I'm left with 0, no numbers to bring down, and nothing left over, no remainders. Just checking my work. 484 times the divisor of 2. 4 times 4 is, 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16, and 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 968, 968, we are good to go, and you are done with your homework. This one took quite a while because of the strategies that we were practicing, but you got this. Pick a method and work with it and practice it, and that's how you'll get better. Here you go.